Welcome to episode 82 of the 2-Minute Warning. Today on the table, the Denver Broncos and Drew Lock. Jay, is this a team that will ever see led to the Super Bowl by Drew Lock?
First off, I definitely cannot cancel them out like I do with the Bengals and the Washington. Those are just two organizations I can never see make it to the Super Bowl. They're not well run. Broncos, I cannot say the same. They've made it to the Super Bowl twice in the past decade. And Drew Lock, he's got a lot of talent. He's really young. He's getting a bad rap just because it's this early. I don't like that because he has a lot of potential. I do think he could be possibly pushing for a playoff appearance if it wasn't for all these injuries this year. So to say they're out of the Super Bowl completely in his entire career, definitely not. Some of the moves I didn't like though this year was signing Melvin Gordon. I didn't like that move because they already had Philip Lindsay strong back. And it's good to just have, I guess it's good to have Melvin Gordon, but I just didn't see the money being worth it for, I think they could have used it on other spots, possibly on defense. Von Miller, he could always use some backup with Bradley Chubb, maybe to help out the secondary. Right now it's really early to say, but to say they will never make a Super Bowl, I cannot say that yet. What do you got, Cody?
It's a good take. In my own personal opinion, I feel like Lock has an uphill battle. I mean, when you look at everything that has been thrown at him this year, best defensive player to help him, gone for the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of injuries for that.
A lot of injuries. Best defensive lineman, Jarrell Casey's big sign from the Titans, one of our biggest free agents. Lost to a bicep injury, I'm pretty positive. Cortland Sutton, number one target. They said in training camp, all training camp, Cortland Sutton, Drew Lock chemistry is real. It is there. It is something to be feared and respected.
Sure.
Out for second week of the season against the Steelers. He's got an uphill battle. Yeah. And if you look at the games that Drew Lock has played, which he hasn't played a lot. Let's make a point there. He has not played many games. People are like, oh, it's his second year. He's dust. Look at Herbert. He's only played these many games. He's going off. Sure, Herbert is respectable for that. But Drew Lock played. He went 5-1 or 4-1 as a starter last year as a rookie. Okay, beat the Texans, who were a playoff team, by multiple scores.
Such a good team.
Yeah, very good. In respect, yeah. But this is, I think, from a standpoint, this is Lock's rookie year. Yeah. If we really are trying to...
Yeah, there's plenty of other sports. Like, if you were looking at him in baseball, you don't become a rookie until you play half the season.
Exactly.
So, as far as I'm concerned, yes, Drew Lock is a rookie.
And not to mention, he injured his shoulder this year as well. Yeah. He was out for 3 weeks. So it's always been an uphill battle for Lock, and all the pressure is on him.
You could even say the division he's in is an uphill battle.
I mean, Super Bowl champions. Yeah. I mean, what bigger image than Patrick Mahomes in your division to compete with? I mean, you know, I give a lot of respect to him because I really see him trying to be the best, and I agree very well with you said. There was a lot of potential there, for sure, with the amount, with arm strength, athleticism, and even the team around. They're a young team.
Yeah.
The Broncos are the second youngest team, I think, behind, I don't know, what is it, one of those, don't quote me on that, but one of the teams, the second youngest team, and they're developing. Yeah. I mean, Judy, KJ Hamler from Penn State, solid receiver at Penn State. And I think they're just going to keep... Tight end, Noah Fant, third ranked tight end in Pro Football Focus, behind DJ Hawkinson and the guy from I think it was the Raiders. But, Darren Waller. You know, I think there is a lot of potential. And if you really watch the Broncos games and how they play their games... They move the ball down the field. Yeah. They really do. They do. I mean, you know, they'll have some drives, some tough times, but they move the ball down the field. The problem is end zone, red zone. And that's where I go back to your point you made, Jay, about Melvin Gordon signing. That's where I think they wanted the Melvin Gordon signing because Philip, he's a small dude. Yeah. He is a small dude.
He did good rookie years too himself.
Yeah, no, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Yeah. I mean, Philip Lindsay is good downhill running. In terms of gaining yards fast, he can sprint through the gap. But in terms of red zone, Philip Lindsay doesn't have the muscle to fight and battle in there. I really don't see it. And that's where the Melvin Gordon signing comes in. Proved to be a disappointment because Buddy couldn't, stay sober. Yeah. Got a big old DUI charge. But, we'll get the outcomes of that soon. But, I mean, in terms of Super Bowl ever, to Broncos fans and to people, I think you can't say Drew Lock is a bust after. I think you need at least one more year to see how it goes. Because, I mean, what was the score of the Falcons game last week? They were down 27-6 in the third quarter. Yep. The final game was 34-27.
Yep.
I mean, Drew Lock, something comes alive in him in the second half. I don't know what it is, but
I like a lot of what Cody says about the youngness of this Broncos team, especially with Drew Lock. It's certainly way too early for me to say no, that they'll never make a Super Bowl led by Drew Lock, because I think it's very possible. But the question is how long it'll be, because with the Chiefs being in the AFC, of course, I don't see this Broncos team ever being better than the Chiefs team.
It's hard.
So, I mean, and with Mahomes being there for a minimum of 10 years after this contract expires, I mean, he's a young guy, obviously. So, I see right off the bat 10 years straight where the Broncos won't be able to overcome that Chiefs, even if they find themselves in that AFC Championship. So that's the limiting factor for me. This Broncos team, of course, doesn't look fantastic right now, but Cody just mentioned all the injuries, the young quarterback, the young backs. Everything about the team is young, so they're going to need time to develop. So for right now, of course, it's not going to happen anytime soon, in my opinion. In the next 5 seasons, I don't see this Broncos team in the Super Bowl.
To add to that point, it's the NFL. You can't make excuses for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to find a way to adjust and to adapt and to really deal with adversity in the NFL. And, for this year, in terms of playoff contention, for sure, I mean, just you can't be like, oh, it's because of this, their injuries, oh, it's because Drew, all this stuff. You can't say that. So, in terms of time, like our discussion says, if you look at the Broncos team and their young players, really, I mean, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton when he gets healthy, Philip Lindsay emerging back, I really think, in terms of talent and speed, Noah Fant. This new Alberto got fastest combine by a tight end, I think, stats-wise ever. Tore his ACL, another key injury for the Broncos. Not to make excuses, but give them maybe 2 years, a year. That offense could be very dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the fact that we're even having this conversation does give the Broncos a little bit of credit. Like I said, Washington, no one's going to make a video or even talk about them. Oh, are they going to go to the Super Bowl soon? Because no, that's not even the realm of possibilities. I do think there is a chance when they can maybe come over the Chiefs. Just who knows? Mahomes might hurt his neck.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Did against the Broncos last year, or his leg. I mean.
Yeah, and really, Joe Flacco, he hurt his knee or something when he rushed for a touchdown.
Tried to do a QB sneak.
Yeah. Against Joe Flacco. And I think the Chiefs' offense, eventually, they're not going to be able to afford that whole team under salary cap. They just made Mahomes the highest paid quarterback. They made Travis Kelce the highest paid tight end. Tyreek Hill's going to be due for a contract. I don't know if they'll re-sign Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, great rookie. They'll have to sign him big money, Le'Veon Bell. Eventually, we're going to have to lose some of these stars, and that might give the Broncos just the edge they need for the Chiefs to lose one less weapon, Broncos to develop one more weapon, and right there, they're in even contention. So it could be really interesting. I don't know. Right now, I'll, of course, give Mahomes the edge. He's the best quarterback in the league right now, maybe Russell Wilson. But in the future, the Broncos have a lot of potential. It could definitely make a deep playoff run and possibly a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to, like you said, I'm definitely not going to rule out in a Super Bowl appearance over the next decade, but I would say I'd give it at least 3-4 seasons unless some crazy Mahomes injury happens.
And I think that goes back to coaching. I mean, you look at the Chiefs and how they just attack teams in multiple ways. I mean, you really can't. I mean, when you look at the Broncos coaching, I mean, Pat Shurmur, had that run with the Vikings. I mean, what were the Giants when he was their head coach, like 3-13, barely won any games. But, our head coach as well, Vic Fangio, though, one of the best defensive minds in football.
And good front office with John Elway, of course.
Very much so. So, I just think it comes down to coaching, Mahomes. I mean, it stinks that the Chiefs have gone to that level in terms of being a Broncos fan, but, I think that there is a lot of potential in terms of the weapons that the Broncos have with Drew Lock at the helm to become a potential playoff Super Bowl contender in the next few 5 years.
All right, what you're going to have to see.
Sounds good.
All right, 2 in the morning.